I think international hockey's different. My only experience with it was in Vancouver in 2010, and it wasn't quite on the big ice. So I'm getting a different taste of it now than I did in the past. But you know, we've got a very young team, and we've got some guys wearing the jersey for their first time. But I think we'd like to consider ourselves in medal contention. There's some good teams left to be played, but the hockey's been fantastic, and you know, the European teams play a little differently than we're used to. So there's an adjustment trying to get used to it, but there's certainly some high skill level.
There's no easy games here, and the European teams take such pride in this tournament, and it's starting to gain a lot more a lot more exposure in the North American side of things. So the hockey's been unbelievable, and like you said earlier too, they play a little different style than we may be used to. So there's definitely an adjustment there that needs to happen, but there's a lot of skill out there, and there's a lot of room to make plays, so it makes for great hockey.
I think so far we've been playing well. Obviously the Slovakian game, they played definitely a different style than we're used to playing in North America, but other than that, getting used to the big ice wasn't too hard, and you have a little more space out there, and I think that's good for especially small guys like me. So I've enjoyed the big ice and international play so far.
Just want to say hi to you, Moo. And I hope the summer's been going well, and we're all expecting you back in Anaheim. We know that you got at least 1, maybe even 2 years left in you, but obviously it's your decision. But
we are available for dinner if you want to buy.
Yeah, that's true. We'll be in Helsinki. We're staying at Sokos Presidente, so come pay us a visit.
Did you want to be president?
Me?
Yeah. No.
False?
No.
No.
The 4 guys, the 4 Finnish guys in the locker room for sure, you know.
Bobby, Ryan, Cam Fowler, and Palmieri, welcome guys.
Thank you.
So there are a lot of Mighty Ducks fans in Finland too, or Anaheim Ducks fans these days, I guess we have to say. What makes NHL players like you guys come to these tournaments in Europe?
Well, for me, you know, obviously it's a chance to wear the USA jersey, which is a very cool and important thing to do. But when I found out the tournament was here, we weren't sure whether I was in Helsinki or Stockholm for our pool, but we were here earlier this year and absolutely loved it. We didn't get enough time, so we decided it would be great to come back, represent our country, but also being in a great atmosphere in a great city was a key component.
Obviously, you guys started the NHL season here. How do you guys like Helsinki? You said that that's one of the reasons you guys wanted to come back.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time here in Helsinki, and when we were here the first time, we were in a little different part of town, so down closer to the water, so we've been able to kind of take in all the sights since we've been here, and the weather was a little different back then too. It was a little darker, and now we got some sunlight, and the weather's turned out to be nice, so it's been beautiful so far. Helsinki's been really great to us.
Well, how is it for North American teams like yourselves in Canada? There was a lot of fuss about in the media. Let's not go into any details, but of your teammates, Getzlaf and Perry, staying out late last night. What do you think? Is that something that's actually really important for you guys, that you get to go out, you know, in the beginning of the tournament and get to know each other and everything?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think coming together with a new group of guys, it's tough to get to know them just at the rink because you're constantly practicing, focusing on your opponent. But to get away from the rink and get those off days and just go get to know some other guys on the team and around the league, it's great. And for our team, and just to get to know people is great for you.
The beginning of the tournament for you guys started great, then a bit of a slope against Slovakia. How satisfied are you guys for the first 3 games?
You know, winning against Canada and giving us a chance to go, 3-0 to start the tournament was great. You know, not even so much a slump as it was one bad period that ended up costing us a game. I think throughout the other 2 periods and the other 40 minutes, we played very well. We got a lot of shots on goal and didn't give up too much in the second and third. So I think it's a building block, our record. The win against Canada was huge because that's a game that can go either way. And getting those points, that extra point there, could go a long way down the stretch. But I think we've got some building blocks and a starting point for us to go for the rest of the way.
Well, Cam, you were born in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So how big was that game personally for you playing against Team Canada?
Yeah, it was good. That's always a subject that people like to bring up, but you know, the truth is I've pretty much been in America all my life. I moved when I was 1, so the red, white, and blue is really all that I know. But anytime you go up against the Canadians, you know you're in for a battle. And USA versus Canada, and pretty much any sporting event that you're going to watch it's going to be a battle. And so it was good, and to be able to represent the USA and be able to beat some of our teammates, it felt pretty nice. And you know, it was obviously a great game for fans to watch going into overtime, so it was a good way to start the tournament off.
Kyle, I think it was the first time in 11 years that Team USA beat Team Canada in the World Championship tournament. Was that anything special for you guys? Did you guys even know that?
No, I wasn't aware of that fact, but I mean, going into the game, obviously you guys had teammates on the other team, and us with Getzlaf and Perry, it's pretty cool to line up against them, and as far as being with them all year and then kind of having a little bit of bragging rights. But going forward into the tournament, I think, like Bobby said, that was a game to build on, and hopefully going forward we can keep going.
And often we hear, or often we've seen that North American teams, when they come to these tournaments, they at some point they're trying to play like the Europeans, but it's not always working because the Europeans are used to the big rink. How do you guys see that?
Well, I think people are right about that. I think there's an adjustment time or period that you have to get used to things. And you know, for myself, I think there's been some situations where you're just a little uncomfortable and you have more time than you think, and you're not quite sure of it. The game's quicker but slower at the same time. You know, there's time but there's not, and it tricks you in. It gives you a false sense of security sometimes. So there's definitely an adjustment period. You know, the European teams play well with the puck possession and the things that they do. And you know, when you come in and only have 2 or 3 practices, you really can't get used to it. But I think we've done a good enough job so far. I think going forward, guys will only be more comfortable on it, so that's a huge part of it.
How do you guys see it? You see it similar?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing for me is just pretty much your positioning on the ice. You know, sometimes you think you're in the right spot, but there's a little bit more room out there, and you find yourself, you know, 2 or 3 feet in the wrong position, and it can end up costing you. But I think for me personally, I've been able to experience some international hockey on the bigger ice, so it takes 1 or 2 practices maybe to get used to it, but after that it's pretty much just hockey as normal.
Obviously, many people have been thinking that Canada's ahead and the USA is sort of like a little brother when it comes to ice hockey, but I understand that many people in the United States are thinking that you guys have already caught them. I mean, you won the youth championships and so on. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think hockey's a grown game in the United States, but right now I think the world sees it as Canada's the superpower over there in North America. But I think with the guys coming up now and making names for themselves in the NHL, coming from all parts of America, it's good for the game and good for the sport. And obviously, when you get to these international competitions, it makes for pretty exciting games.
One of the other things is that people, especially in Finland, sometimes are in awe. There's a great respect for any Team USA in any sport, in any U.S. athletes. You know, of you guys' spirit. How do you come to games, even though if you're 4-0 down, it seems like you're still playing to win. You're giving everything you have. Where does that come from? What do you guys think?
I think it's just kind of the American way. It seems like, you know, just kind of that blue-collar style that you're never going to give up no matter what's thrown at you. And I think any team that I've played on, we kind of pride ourselves on that fact. And, you know, we know that we have skill, and there's guys that can really play, but the work ethic is the one thing that we want to bring over and show the other countries, because, you know, everyone brings that same style, and we want to make sure that we match that.
I played NCAA, not hockey, a different sport, but what I got from there is somehow contagious when you guys are thinking that, you know, there might be a better team, but we don't care. We just find a way to win. Is it so for your national team this year as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think our coaches have stressed that we got to be a team that works to our strengths, and I think one of those is our work ethic and just trying to dominate play down low, and no matter what zone you're in. I think that's what we're going out there to play a full 60 minutes and just work hard and see where that takes us.
one player that's always been a big interest for the Finnish hockey fans is your teammate Teemu Selänne, now 41 years of age. How many years do you guys think that Teemu should still keep going?
I think he's got to do it year by year at this point, but I think he's got some time left in him, and you know, these guys have been around them for a few years. I've been lucky enough to be around them for 5, and you know, the things he does day in and day out, you know, at 41 years of age now is very impressive. He brings a work ethic every day. He always smiling, and his energy is just contagious. So we certainly, as a team, selfishly very much want him back, and our power play certainly wants him back because there's probably nobody better at it. And you know, it's been a treat for me to be alongside him for 5 years. It's incredible to watch.
Is he a kind of guy who helps younger teammates?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, coming into my first season, he treated me just like someone that's been playing with him for 20 years, and for me to be able to go to the rink every day and see how he prepares himself for the games, and just all the little things that you don't really realize a professional hockey player does until you actually see it. It really helped me make those strides to becoming a better professional athlete. And Teemu, he just, like Bobby said, his energy is contagious, and he always seems to be the life of the party, just smiling and cracking jokes no matter what the mood is. He's so happy and he's so passionate about the game, and for me to see that, it's really encouraging for me.
Well, do you guys know that there might be a young Finnish defenseman joining your team next season, possibly Sami Vatanen? Do you know anything of him at all?
I think we might have played against him in a couple of U18 tournaments down the road. I think for the most part I've heard good things about him, and it'll be our pleasure to have him on our team. And no matter how many guys in the locker room that are Finnish, it's always a pleasure. So,
thank you so much, guys, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.